with me. Simple as can be.
Next time you're feeling blue, just let a smile begin. Happy things will come to you.
So smurf yourself a grin.
Ooh, I hate Smurfs. I'll get you. I'll get all of you if it's the last thing I ever do.
La 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 la. Now you know the tune. You'll be smurfing soon.
All right, I'm going to be using my laptop today. I wanted to go over a few videos. I'll tell you my Garrett story. I know Garrett's just come out with their new Vortex metal detector. Embrace the storm, right? So let's take a look at this thing. They got three models, the VX5, the VX7, and the 9. And it's up around $600 for this machine. And remember, you're not going to get headphones. You're not going to get much at all. You're going to get a very small manual. I think a charger, not a charger, but a charge cable. And we'll get to the charging problems. Calabash has got a great video up already. I didn't expect much from this company. I think they're dead. It's a dead company. Old technology. Really sad to watch. I mean, we talk about new technology in the industry of metal detectors. Just a quick overview of Minelab metal detectors, which Minelab is so far ahead of everybody else. It's almost comical now. 1994, Minelab introduces BBS technology, 17 simultaneously frequency machine. So you got 17 frequencies running at one time. One time. It's 17 metal detectors going at once. Absolutely incredible machine. 1999, Minelab, FBS technology, 28 simultaneous frequencies, all going at once. Super technology. 2008, FBS 2. 2018, multi-frequency machined. I mean, the target imaging, just everything about Minelab, they're way ahead, way ahead. Manticore right now, #1 metal detector out there by far. Equinoxes are up there. The Nocters are great, but the problem with Nocter is they counterfeited. They stole all of Minelab's patents. I'm sure if I've got the legend here. If I took it apart today and looked at it, I know all of the chips are going to be the same. They're going to lose that suit, so that's going to put them in hot water eventually. But they're a counterfeit company. I mean, you know, you could buy the stuff. I don't know how long they'll be around. I know Garrett's not going to be around much longer. White's is gone. You know, a lot of these companies are gone. They're dinosaur companies now compared to Minelab. But this machine, I just wanted to give a quick little look at it. I just looking at the first picture here. This looks like the Apex. It looks like somebody took an Apex screen. The Apex came out like 5-6 years ago, maybe it was 10. Garrett hasn't done really much in the last 25 years. I'll get to that. I'll actually put on a picture of the Garrett machine, the last Garrett machine I bought. And I'll tell you some of the stuff about it that I know, and some of the I'll throw even a find in that I found with it, and I'll be honest about it. But this thing is just, you look at these buttons, they're complete sand catchers. They're raised buttons. You're going to get out on a beach. They're just going to catch sand. The screen is big, which is good, but antiquated. Very, very antiquated. So right out of the gate, I'm kind of like, I'm looking at this thing. It's got some different modes. It's got a fast mode. It's got a saltwater multi-mode. I doubt it's really going to work that great. Very limited on the audio aspects of what you can do. I think it's got like 5 different tones, but very limited on audio and what you can do. Let's go down here. We're going to scroll down the page a little bit. It's got multi-frequency, multi-dimensional. I don't even know what the hell that is. Really no target trace. Screen is just black and white, not even colored. Minelab machines are colored, the screens. Even the Manticore has some different color on the screen. We'll keep going down here. This has got a thin coins mode. I think that's going to be a big selling point in England. Really not a lot of thin coins here. There are some here on the East Coast. You get some of those pence coins, 6 pence or whatever. They're fairly thin. I actually found one with a Minelab CTX. The CTX is just space aged. Blows anything out of the water that Garrett could even come up with. And if you go over here to this, very reminiscent of the older GTIs. I don't know if you're familiar with the old GTI VDIs on the earlier Garrett's. Garrett 1000, kind of screaming that. I actually had a chance to use a Garrett 1000. I own the GTI 2500. I actually ordered that from Calico in 1999 when it came out. And I'll tell you my story about that, which was interesting. I mean, I did find some good stuff, but it wasn't beach related. I got it out on the beach and I couldn't even use it. So here's something I wanted to show you that really, that's really got me scared here. I'm going to show you this picture right here. This thing, this guy's diving with one of these. That jack is a 3.5 mil and it's turned sideways. That thing is going to break. I don't know who designed that, but that's a terrible design. Looks like it wanted to be an Equinox at one point. The armrest doesn't look too stable either. Give it to him. Okay, I'll even say that looks good, but very thin control housing. Probably will be water egress issues. I know the Minelabs had some egress issues too, but still, the Minelabs are just so far ahead of this machine. It's pretty sad to watch this stuff. $600 price point on this. I don't think I'd pay that. I think that the real price would be like maybe $200. Maybe buy one on the secondhand market. If you look at the coil's so dated. So dated. That looks like a coil that came off an AT Pro. AT Pro was just a horrible machine on saltwater beaches. You couldn't get any depth. It was only a single frequency or dual frequency machine. I remember at Long Sands, I met a guy. He was practically in tears. He couldn't even use it. Just a horrible machine on highly mineralized beach sand. But in fairness, you could go to a lake or a stream, an old park, and you could pluck stuff, some old coins. They would work, but just not, they had no place on saltwater beaches. You have to have, back in those days, you had to have a Pulse or a Sovereign, Minelab Sovereign, Minelab Excalibur. Kind of looks like an Equinox that wanted to be there, and then they put the Apex screen on and then used the old GTI display. But I mean, I just don't see anything new here. The tones I saw, we'll do the tones in a minute. Look at this woman's beach video, and I'm going to show you my GTI 2500 that I had when I ordered it in 1999, my experience. But I just don't see anything new here, you know. Am I missing something? Is there something hidden in here that I should know about, or it's going to be groundbreaking? I just don't see it. You know, I mean, you can get, like I say, you went out and bought a Nocta triple score, and I'm not a big Nocta fan because, like I say, they counterfeited a lot of Minelab stuff. You could get it for like $500 with an extra coil and a pair of headphones for under $500. This thing's $600, and you get no headphones and no extra coil, a limited owner's manual, and I think a cable to charge. You don't even have the charger. And like I say, now the problem is they're sending these out and they don't even charge, I guess. I guess there's an issue with that. I'll show you the video clip for that at Calabash's site. You'll have to check Calabash out. I'm going to put his link below. But pretty sad, you know. I just don't like the color. There's nothing about it I like. The sounds are horrible. Let's see if we can find that beach video of her using this machine. Here's that video.
Nou ja. Ik heb mijn eerste vondst.
I think this woman's in Denmark.
Een heel klein mini dingetje, dus die heeft hij mooi opgepakt.
Found an earring, she claims.
Nou, ik heb 2 zilveren ringetjes meegenomen om eventjes te testen hoe die klinken en wat voor signaal die geven. Maar nogmaals,
Bring the
dit is
audio
een
down.
prototype. Maar dan weet ik in ieder geval waar ik naar moet luisteren.
Yeah. You guys hear that? I'm gonna pause this. You hear that sound? That almost sounds like it's falsing. It doesn't sound that, and the tones don't sound that great. Let me replay that. Hold on here. Bring this up a little. Here we go. Let's replay
Nog
that.
niet, want het is een prototype. Maar dan weet ik in ieder geval waar ik naar moet luisteren.
Hear that sound? Look. Hear that? God, that sounds like a jukebox.
Ja,
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not a believer. I don't like the sounds of that thing. Let's check out Calabash's clip from this morning. He actually is having issues. Let's go check his out right now.
Again. Now the question is can I give me just a second, sharpshooter? I'm gonna plug it back into the block and pray and hope that it unfreezes my machine. Give me just a second, all right? He's on there.
So he can't get the machine to power on.
Different notch features, and if I can get it to unbrick, I will.
The machine froze. This guy's a great guy. He knows his stuff. Calabash Digger. Definitely subscribe to the site. We'll put the link below. But there's another guy who's, you know, he's been in the hobby probably 30 plus years, and he's having issues
This
now.
right here is bad, sharpshooter. This is bad. This is the second time it's done that.
Yeah.
So give me just a second, guys.
Yeah, so here was my last machine, my last Garrett machine. It was the Treasure Vision Garrett 2500. A little bit of a side view. It actually had imaging. I was really stoked. Mine had the original Treasure Talk, where a woman's voice would come up and say, D-size target at 2 inches. It was pretty cool. Thought it was going to be something of like a groundbreaking thing. The buttons are kind of chintzy. Build quality wasn't that great. This one has that black coil. Mine had a white coil with a little circle donut hole in it. So mine was the real older version. They got rid of the Treasure Talk. They had that on the Garrett Grandmaster Hunter. I thought the Treasure Talk thing was pretty cool, but the imaging was what had me sold. It was one of the first times a metal detector manufacturer had actually put imaging in a detector, and it was just groundbreaking at the time. I thought this was going to be the way forward. I thought Garrett would move into multi-frequency after this machine and integrate that same imaging technology, but they didn't. I don't know why. They kind of went backwards. I think this was their real flagship, and then after this point they kind of faded it. You had the Treasure A series, which were kind of crappy. You had, like I say, the AT Pros, which really I never liked. They kind of reminded me of like a cheap Radio Shack. And like I say, these machines, this machine here, I'm not saying you could go to a park, and I did fairly good. I hit a Maplewood Haven in Portsmouth. I must have got like $20 or $30 in clad. I got a bangle bracelet. I got some silver coins behind an old school in Portsmouth. I'll put a pic of one here on this video. I got silver $50. It was really good on silver, this machine, but it was weighted towards silver. Weighted in that 9.8 and 7.7 kilohertz zone, which is really good on deep silver. The coin I found, and I'm posting here, I'll put the picture on, was very deep. I had to actually go home and get a shovel and come back to the site and dig it out. It was that deep. So pretty, you know, it was a good machine, but when I took it to the beach, I could not get this thing tuned. I tried to reduce sensitivity. I ground balanced. I lift the coil up, checked for EMI. I did everything I could, and it just would not just tune in to C-sand. Thing would just false. So On the beach, pretty much worthless. It didn't matter because I had the Sovereign at the time, and I had the Pulse in the water, White's Beachmaster PI in the water. That was tough because the coil on the PI wasn't weighted, so you had to kind of force it down. But the funny thing about this machine, we'll play a little bit of the video here, and there's the image. There's some of the imaging buttons. There's the old black coil.
Backed by a powerful onboard.
So this is an interesting thing. These little doors would open up, and there would be a little black four spot where you put in AA batteries into a 4-pack holder on each side, and there was like a phone cable attached to the end of that. It's like a battery pack. It's kind of chintzy design. Didn't really care for the armrest that was square cut, a square cut one. Like I say, kind of a chintzy build, but it did fine stuff. I'm not saying it didn't fine. I did good on silver and parks. The imaging worked good in the parks sometimes, and it, not a terrible machine, but just couldn't use it at the beach. Completely useless at the beach. So the Sovereign would just run circles. Not just Garrett. I would use Fisher, Tesoro, Bounty Hunter, Radio Shack. Me and Don would split the beach up, and each time he'd pretty much have 4 times the amount of stuff I would find when I would use a single frequency machine. So, but the Pulses and the Minelabs would always find more, So, but that's pretty much it. That was my experience. I got it. It was ordered from Calico in 1999. I got it quick. I mean, I was happy with the experience. I just didn't keep the machine. I moved on pretty quick. So, like I say, it was just Minelab after that. So